Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Kelsey here from Wander Realm. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is a channel where we talk about all things vintage beauty, style, and fashion, as well as psilocybin mushrooms and microdosing and how they relate to mental health and well-being.
I'm yours. With you.
Today I really wanted to talk to you about productivity. Productivity is something that is very important. It's very important in relation to your mental health, your well-being, and even your identity. Success is definitely linked to a lot of us, and our standards and what we live up to are definitely something that's very important in our lives, and they can really wreak havoc on our lives if we're not living up to our own standards or if we're living up to other people's standards. So I think this is a topic that is probably been covered in various different ways. However, my spin on it is really going to be about how psilocybin mushrooms, in terms of microdosing and mental health, and how that relates to productivity, and how I tried to use psilocybin mushrooms to help me become more productive. Now, you might be thinking, hey, you're talking about productivity? But hold up a second. I do have some interesting things to say. I may not be the most productive person you've ever met. I wouldn't even call myself highly productive. Now, ever since I started using psilocybin mushrooms in a microdose to help my anxiety and depression, and if you haven't watched the video on my microdosing story, then I will put it in the link below or I'll link it somewhere for you to click on, just because it's an important video and it's kind of explains all about my journey and how my microdosing psilocybin journey has brought me here. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're interested in microdosing and how it affects someone, then definitely go and watch that video. So what I really noticed was that I couldn't be completely productive unless my mental health state was in a better place. A lot of ruminating and a lot of suffering from my own thoughts was really blocking me from accomplishing things that I wanted to accomplish in my life. Sometimes it's literally just as simple as going and doing the thing that you want to do. A lot of times it's really that simple, actually. However, when you suffer with mental health issues, when you suffer with depression and anxiety, it can be a real challenge to get started. So several years ago, I found out something that was very interesting to me. I discovered that there were two kinds of perfectionism. Now, I had gone through life a lot admiring people who hold themselves to a perfectionist standard, or people who were over perfectionists. I had known a couple over perfectionists in my life, people who do very well in school, people who are always very groomed consistently, people who seem to have their life together when it comes to their commitments and their projects. They're extremely organized. They have a lot of lists, a lot of calendars, and a lot of things just get checked off. Now, I would always look up to those people and think, well, if I can just become one of those people, then my life will be great. My life will be perfect. If I could just discipline myself enough to become one of those people. Now, the problem was that I was admiring so-and-so or this person for what I thought obtaining, or from what I could see from the outside, perfection, or almost perfection. I wasn't that naive to think that perfection actually existed, let's be clear, but I did feel that those were qualities that I wanted to have and achieve. What I didn't realize was that all it really came down to was just checking off your boxes. And it didn't matter if I did it in a certain way. It didn't matter if some days I fell short, that I was doing my best and trying my best when I could. Now, of course, nobody is, like I had mentioned, perfect in every way, shape, or form, but these people are often seen as maybe having it all or getting it all done. A covert perfection is someone who on the inside is striving to be a perfectionist or become that perfectionist, but they are not quite living up to their standard and they don't actually tell anyone that that's what they're doing. So for a while, I would tell people I'm very laid back, I'm a procrastinator, I don't always get things done on time, and I could really care less about a lot of things that I actually cared about. Because internally, I cared about a lot of things and I held myself up to a lot of times just unachievable standards. In reality, those standards couldn't be achieved. So inside, I was really suffering to try to join those overt perfectionists, when I, in myself, just didn't feel like I was living up to those standards, even though I was just as imperfect as anyone else, and I had a balance like anybody else, but for me, it was causing havoc for me, because there were a lot of internal issues that I just couldn't wrap my mind around or that I was struggling with. Now, here's the thing. I had to grow and learn and use psilocybin mushrooms to help me understand what productivity really is and really how to achieve it without holding myself to such a high standard. And let me give you another disclaimer because I feel like I haven't mentioned it. The overt perfectionist as well can really be a covert perfectionist, because not only do they seem to have it all on the outside, but they're maybe struggling on the inside as well, thinking they don't have it all. It just depends. Everybody's different. Some people call themselves a perfectionist and they feel like they are a perfectionist and they're completely happy with their own standard and the standard that they hold themselves to, and they are completely okay with holding themselves to that. And there are people who are always striving for perfection on the outside and are looking perfect on the outside, but still internally they don't feel like they're living up to that. So there's many types of nuances, and there are some gray areas in this. Like I said, there just are two types that I know of perfectionists. So now I really want to talk about the psilocybin aspect of things. I kind of just wanted to get that out of the way, just to kind of explain to you a little bit about my productivity journey and how I've struggled in the past. So currently now, I do find that taking the psilocybin mushrooms really affects how I relate to getting things done. As I said, there were a lot of barriers that I had initially. There were several barriers that really were in my way of actually accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish, not only because I had sort of negative thoughts, self-deprecating thoughts, and I was constantly anxious and worrying with my pure OCD. And I had suffered from pure OCD, which is a type of OCD that is mainly sort of internal. It's mostly in your head, so it doesn't necessarily relate to repeating things or hand washing. However, I did have some repetitive behaviors. I would say the internal behaviors bothered me way more than the external behaviors. And however, the anxiety on top of all of it was really hurting me, because not only would I want to forget about all of the tasks that I wanted to do and all of the goals and dreams that I had, but I also wanted to distract myself from the OCD that was ruminating in my head, the Puro. So essentially, I was putting off everything I wanted to do and pushing it away because I didn't feel ready mentally or even prepared, because I wasn't doing anything consistent. The psilocybin mushrooms, they really helped me a lot. Even though I consider myself a strong person, they helped me immensely, because it was really hurting me from becoming my true and best self. What I learned was that psychedelics actually means mind manifesting. So it actually clicked for me. They have a relationship with goals, dreams, and success. Because what does manifesting mean? It means thinking of something that you want to have or accomplish, etc. Now, what I think is that the psilocybin mushrooms completely cleared that blockage for me so that I could go after those things that I really wanted. Psilocybin mushrooms help me to achieve that mental clarity so that I can focus on the task that I'm doing at hand. The task that I'm doing at hand is because I want to accomplish that task. It's because I want to do something that I either enjoy and that I know is good for me and that I know will ultimately make me a more whole and well-rounded person. Like I said, productivity, success, and achievement is really linked to who you are as a person. It may not be a huge part in your life depending on your values, or it may be just something that you need a little bit more help in, just a little bit more coaching. A lot of it is habit forming, and that, again, consistency is something that I struggle with a lot. But I think that my psilocybin mushroom microdosing journey has really prepared me to become a lot more consistent in my life. And I've only seen myself improve. I've only seen myself get better when it comes to habit forming and focusing on things I need to get done. All right, everyone. So those are all the ways that microdosing with psilocybin mushrooms has helped me to be more productive. Now, I know that this was just a small little short video, just 3 ways that they've helped me. So I would definitely encourage you to like this video, subscribe if you want more content, because I do have that Alice in Wonderland video coming out soon. It's gonna be really cool. I'm actually super excited. I will incorporate a lot of what I do, which is art and writing. So I think that you are all going to enjoy it. But if you like this video, then please don't forget to give it a like and leave a comment down below if you like it. I also know that I promised you a Q&A video that is in collaboration with my mom. Again, that's something that I just need to schedule with her. We both got busy schedules, but I really want to get that done as well, because I know you all have been leaving me some amazing and some awesome questions. I do want to say a huge thank you to everyone that's left comments, has left amazing things down in the comment section, because I really appreciate them. If I don't read them right away, I'm sorry. If I miss them, then I'm so sorry. A lot of the community, I've noticed, have been either highlighting comments, liking them, or replying to them. So that's really awesome. If you can just form a little community down there and chat with each other, that's cool too. I will try to be more active. Like I said, I have a lot of different hobbies, a lot of things that I have on the go and that I'm currently working on, so bear with me. I just moved to a new apartment. I'm sure you can tell. I really wanted to kind of show you my new apartment, but that's not something that I'm able to do right now. There's still a lot of decorating and things that I need to sort of work out before I film an apartment tour or something like that. This isn't really an interior decorating channel, but I feel like the aesthetic will be sort of good for the channel in terms of the showing my aesthetic will be relating to the channel. So that might be something that I would do in the future. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.